Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The process to destroy all the chemical weapons in Madison County is nearing the finish line. The most deadly substances, such as VX nerve agent, have now been eliminated at the Bluegrass Army Depot. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke to people who live near the depot and are glad to see the chemicals and threat of leaks vanish.
Most people in Madison County probably don't know a whole lot of what's behind these fences.
It's a mystery. You know, there's guard shacks at every entrance.
We do know that for 5 decades, the U.S. Army stored lethal weapons here, such as VX nerve agent and mustard gas. There was always a concern of a lethal leak, and residents were even told what to do.
Plastic to put over the windows and tape to tape it up.
But those fears and precautions have given way to a massive project to destroy the weapons, a process that is now 4/5 of the way done. All the nerve agent has been eliminated.
I've thought, what if, how would I get away? Would it get in our groundwater? Those type of things,
The process to neutralize these weapons is very complex and complicated, and I'm told that it takes place under the very watchful and careful eye of individuals that are extremely trained in this process. But basically, it simply involves neutralizing the weapons with water and caustic. Greb says he has friends working to destroy the weapons.
And they tell me it's about bulletproof.
Krebs lives across from the depot now, but has lived in the general area most of his life. Even a county away, the depot was frequently a conversation starter.
I remember my grandfather talking about this place, and
with the weapon elimination process nearing completion, it's likely those conversations and fears won't be as many.
No doubt that place is highly secure.
In Madison County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
Stockpile sites in Kentucky and Colorado were among the last of what was once a national stockpile of 30,000 tons of chemical weapons. The swatting continues in Rowan County. The sheriff's office received more calls last night and this morning. We told you yesterday that someone made false emergency calls concerning the hospital and Morehead State University. They say the same caller is now turning his attention elsewhere. The Rowan County Sheriff's Office put out another post on Facebook this morning. The department says yesterday's swatter is, quote, still bored. Deputies say the false emergency calls from yesterday have not stopped. The person has turned their attention from medical centers and universities and is now focusing on Rowan County schools and the fire department.
Joining you once again from downtown Pikeville on day one of Hillbilly Days 2022. We've moved to the corner of 2nd Division Streets in downtown Pikeville. See some of the carnival attractions behind us. Some of those, the big walking bouncy balls and the big the stunt jump behind us as well. It's been actually a pretty nice day to have some fun out here at Hillbilly Days, and it's going to be even better over the next couple of days. Outside at the moment, you see I-64 at Morehead. Clouds moving overhead at this hour. We've seen some breaks in the clouds, but for the most part, we remain overcast. At the WYMT studios in Hazard as well, plenty of clouds moving in as well. Temperatures remain warm, really right where we should be for this time of year. Average high is about 71. We're in the low 70s for the most part. Middlesboro warm at 75. We will continue to see a few of those showers trying to work their way through the region, but for the most part, they will be falling apart as the moisture continues to work out later on tonight. That dinner time forecast, a sprinkle or two this evening. We cool through the 60s, mostly cloudy at 7, mild and slightly more clear as we head towards 8 o'clock tonight. Now I'll have the latest on when we could see highs back in the 80s coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. It is National Park Week, and this week people are enjoying the beauty of the Mountain State at New River Gorge. A woman has traveled a long way to see West Virginia's only national park for herself. Galen Markham introduces us to a woman who's going all in on her journey across America.
Mandy Bourne is a long way from home. She's made her way all the way from Oklahoma to West Virginia.
I've never been to West Virginia before. It is beautiful. It's overwhelming. Everything is just large, and I love it.
New River Gorge is one of 5 national parks Bourne is visiting this week alone. So far, she's seen 17, but her goal is to travel to all 63 of America's national parks.
I've always loved nature, but when I found out that national parks were a thing, I knew that I had to accomplish it. I had to visit every single one. So I started a bucket list and started visiting.
Since its national park designation in December of 2020, New River Gorge has seen an influx of visitors, much like Bourne. They're traveling from far and wide to see a piece of almost heaven. Those travelers range from families on vacation to students on field trips and more.
And there's everything from the wildflowers blooming down at the river to people getting out on trails and exploring the historic sites. So no matter what your cup of tea is, there's probably something here for everyone.
From debuting its archive collection online to restoring an 80-year-old mural in Mount Hope, New River Gorge's efforts are fueled by community help.
It really calls on us to celebrate our parks by sparking collaboration and innovation and preservation.
As for Bourne, she's leaving New River Gorge with plenty of new memories. Next, she'll be headed to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park in Tennessee and hopes others can visit some of the sites she has seen as well.
Everybody needs to get out and enjoy it. It's beautiful.
Gayla Markham, WYMT Mountain News.
National Park Week activities are scheduled through Sunday, April 24th. Trees Louisville and volunteers from UPS were planting trees this morning. They installed around 40 of them as part of their global volunteering initiative.
It's a positive impact to the community, and also it's an opportunity for a team building event with our work group.
The planted trees will help increase the tree canopy in the area and help produce more oxygen and offer shade. For police, fire, and EMS, it's all hands on deck when it comes to thunder over Louisville this weekend. After 2 years of no normal thunder, the event is coming back louder than ever. Dozens of agencies will be stationed in Louisville, southern Indiana, and on the river. You might notice road closings and no parking zones around Indiana as early as noon Friday. They will last until the fireworks show is over.
All right, after the fireworks, we ask for patience. All right, it takes all day to get all the folks down there into the event area. It's going to take some time to get everyone out.
If you happen to be going to Thunder, you should leave your open alcoholic drinks, tents, laser pointers, silly string, and pets at home. Pack your sunscreen and drink plenty of water. The Louisville Orchestra's new season is closely approaching. There will be a classic series including Penny Abrams' take over of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony and Fifth Piano Concerto, meaning he will play and conduct the piano concerto and conduct the symphony. A family series is also planned with a live symphony playing along an animated movie. Mad Men actor Robert Morse has died. Morse's highest profile TV role was an advertising executive, Bertram Cooper, on Mad Men. However, his career spanned more than 60 years. Morse was a beloved Broadway actor since the 1950s and said he was happiest performing on stage. Morse won 2 Tony Awards and an Emmy. He was 90 years old. Following a series of mass shootings in South Carolina and Pittsburgh last weekend, gun control is once again back in the national spotlight. The White House is hoping to curb gun violence as President Biden announced an executive measure last week targeting so-called ghost guns, homemade weapons that are difficult to track. Washington News Bureau reporter Peter Zampa is hearing from advocates and lawmakers about the decision.
A new rule from the Biden administration means it'll be easier for the federal government to track homemade ghost guns. Gun control advocates like Christian Heine are praising this move.
We have seen a significant increase of these weapons.
Guns are required to have serial numbers, but the individual parts used to make ghost guns are not. So Americans are able to assemble what amounts to a gun without a trace. That is about to change with this new rule, which calls for serial numbers on the parts in ghost gun kits.
There is a lot more that we recognize needs to be done.
In 2017, Democrat Dina Titus's district saw the deadliest individual mass shooting in history when a gunman left 61 dead in Las Vegas. She wants Congress to go further in controlling guns.
Can't get it out of the Congress, especially out of the Senate with the Republicans, and so the president has to do it through some kind of administrative procedure.
Titus's Republican colleagues are reluctant to pass new gun control laws. Idaho Republican Mike Simpson says he wants to protect the Second Amendment and enforce laws already on the books.
It's not going to affect the crime rate by going after ghost guns. All it's going to do is try to make legal gun owners illegal.
Simpson's Arizona colleague Andy Biggs says the focus in the gun control conversation should be centered on criminals.
I will fight for the Second Amendment and the right of people to own and bear arms.
With a razor-thin majority in the House and a 50-50 split in the Senate, it's an uphill battle for Democrats to pass any gun control legislation right now. It'll get even more difficult in November if Republicans take majority control here on Capitol Hill in the midterm elections. Reporting in Washington, I'm Peter Zampa.
Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, ready to step into the world of online banking but are not sure about the process? We have some expert tips on financial training in the digital age.
It's been overcast today, but sunny skies set to return as we head into tomorrow. I'll have all the details coming up next.